Tax season can be stressful, especially if it's your first time filing an individual income tax return. But it doesn't have to be. The SCDOR has tips and resources to help make this tax season a breeze. The first thing you need to know is that citizens pay income taxes to fund our federal, state, and local governments. That's why, if you have a job, money is withheld from your paycheck and sent to the state and federal governments throughout the course of the year. If you overpaid, meaning you paid too much in taxes throughout the year, the excess amount will be returned to you as a refund. But if you paid too little in income taxes, you may end up with a tax bill after filing your annual return. Your tax return helps determine how much income you earned, how much you're supposed to pay in taxes, and how much you actually paid in taxes throughout the year. Generally speaking, if you had a job at any point during the past year, you'll most likely need to file an individual income tax return this year. You need to fill out both a federal and a state tax return, and the deadline both to file your return and pay any taxes due is usually April 15th. But before you actually file your tax returns, be sure you have all your tax-related documents ready. If you are an employee of a business or company, your employer should send you a W-2, which lists how much money you've made throughout the tax year and how much in taxes has already been withheld from your paycheck. You may also get forms from other income sources. If you worked as an independent contractor or gig worker during the year, you should receive a 1099 from each place where you earned income. Most of these forms should be sent out by the end of January, so if you're expecting a form and haven't received one, be sure to reach out to your employer or the business where you earned income. Okay, so how do you actually file a state individual income tax return? Well, there are a few ways to do it. The oldest and most difficult way is to file your taxes by hand, using a paper copy of the SC 1040. This is generally the worst option, especially if it's your first time filing. The easiest way to file your own return is by filing electronically, using SCDOR-approved tax preparation software and websites. You may even qualify to file your federal and state returns with free tax filing software, depending on your income. If you don't qualify for free tax filing software, you can still file your federal and state returns online using one of several other options. You can find a list of providers on our IIT page. Last but not least, you can file using the help of a professional tax preparer. A tax preparer can be especially helpful if you have a complicated return, own your own business, or are just a little nervous about filing on your own. Before you hand over your personal information to a tax preparer, make sure they have an IRS-issued PTIN and will be available to answer your questions during the year. Don't sign a blank return, and make sure your preparer chooses direct deposit if you're getting a refund. As you or your preparer files your return, you'll include the income statements we discussed earlier and other factors that affect your overall tax liability, like tax credits. Once all the relevant information is entered on your return, you'll know if you overpaid taxes throughout the year and are getting a refund, or if you underpaid and owe additional tax. If you didn't have enough withheld from your paychecks or participated in gig work and didn't make tax payments earlier in the year, you may owe additional federal or state taxes. If you have a bill for South Carolina, the easiest and safest way to pay is using our free online tax portal, My Doorway. You can use a credit card or your checking or savings account. Visit dor.sc.gov/pay and click Individual Income Tax Payment to get started. On the other hand, if you overpaid your taxes during the year and are expecting a refund, we recommend choosing to receive your refund by direct deposit. It's the fastest, easiest, most secure way to receive your refund. As soon as we've processed your return, your refund will be deposited into your bank account. Now that you know how to file your return, here are some additional tips to keep in mind. Visit dor.sc.gov/tax credits to learn about credits you may be able to claim that lower your tax liability. Don't share details about your return or refund on social media, where cybercriminals can use that info to steal your identity. This may seem simple, but sign your return before you submit it, and make sure your social security number, address, and bank account info are all accurate. Each year, thousands of returns and refunds are delayed because of these seemingly minor issues. Don't let yours be one of them. One more thing. Be sure to keep a physical or digital copy of your completed tax return for your records. You never know if you'll need to reference it in the future, especially next year when it's time to file again. For more filing tips and resources, visit dor.sc.gov/IIT. Stay connected with the SCDOR on our social media as we post more tips throughout tax season.